The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash,
A roundtable of Cowboys insiders
dropping wisdom
and offering sizzling takes
on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your host,
Newy Scruggs.
Media Mash. Here we go. Fun with all of your favorite writers. I'm Newy Scruggs, along with the Star Telegram's greatest football writer. He is Nick Harris in the house. Got Joe Hoyt, All City Dallas. We've got the most trusted man in all Cowboys media. He is Clarence Hill, Jr. of All City Dallas.
Why you gotta be petty, man?
I learned from you.
Why you gotta be petty?
I learned from you.
I mean, you gonna call him the greatest? He just got there.
Is he not great?
He's the best they got right now. But the greatest, the greatest is about history.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Okay.
The greatest is about history.
Man, I'll just give him
that's some historic to go with greatest.
What are the other notable writers?
You know what? I'll just
Greatest go with history.
I'm just
saying.
I'll just give
you gotta
him
have some. You gotta have some tenure to be greatest. He's great though.
I'll just say he's like LL. He's the baddest writer in the history of the Star Telegram itself.
Wow.
Not bitter or mad.
Baddest.
Just proving
baddest.
he's bad.
He called you good.
That's about history.
He's bad.
He a bad man. Is he the baddest?
He's a bad man.
He is a bad man. Is he the baddest?
I know right now when I look up here and I see his Twitter feed, man, he hitting with all that information.
He hitting. They never hit before. Huh?
It's hitting. I mean, it's hitting. You hitting hard on All City Dallas. Like you came out there with the Jerry stuff. Right out the gate, you came out hitting, man.
With the F and Jerry stuff.
I mean, yes, hitting hard.
You gotta hit.
You went next level.
You gotta pop
there,
out.
man.
Pop out and show them. When you gonna pop out, you gotta show them.
You
I'm
did,
just saying. And he popping out and showing them.
But you didn't pop out over there like that. You popped out over here. You popped out.
You wasn't here when I popped that over there.
No,
I'm just saying. I've been there a long time. I was there a long time. I got a lot of. Got a lot of popping out over there.
Pop.
Popping out over there too.
Pop.
Anyway,
So let this man have his shot.
he got his shot. Listen,
You just came.
I recommended that man.
Chris Bean, didn't you feel like Clarence was he was a little sensitive toward that?
No.
He's always sensitive, though.
Wow, Chris.
Like Ed Reed.
Ed who? You can't get his name right.
Ed Reed Werder.
Ed Reed Werder.
Ed Reed Werder.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, how you doing today,
job,
Newy?
Hey, man, I'm great. Anytime I get my Mega Man here, I'm great. Man.
Thank you, sir.
Playoffs are coming up, baby. Mm-hmm. Number one, Oregon Ducks. You
That's
feeling
right.
good about it?
Feel great about it.
Feel good about
Line
it.
them up and take them down. Let's go. Hard road. Who cares? Let's go.
Let's
go.
Loving it from the Ducks, man. Loving it. Da, 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 da.
Loving it.
Cowboy locker room. Everyone was in there today. Mm-hmm. What was your takeaway first, Nick?
I was actually in this podcast studio while locker room was going on. So move on to Joe.
Joe?
Dang. We talked to Chauncey Golson, who's kind of putting together a little late season run here. And we asked him, as an impending free agent, do you start to go there? He says no. He said he didn't even know that he stays in the moment. He didn't even know you had to play college football in order to get to the NFL. He's like, that was never my thought in college. I was like, huh. Anyways, he's not thinking about the moment, but it made me think about all these free agents that they got that are kind of popping off a little bit here at the end. I was thinking about Osa Odigizua. What's his contract going to be? Obviously, it's going to be double-digit per year at this rate, the way he's third in the NFL in pressures right now amongst interior defensive linemen. So that's kind of where my mind went is, how are you going to be able to contain or retain all these guys, including Chauncey Golson?
Yeah, it's funny because...
Better be funny.
Because there's so much talk about the momentum, and let's finish strong. We're going to carry it to the next year. How you going to carry it to the next year and everybody going to be gone?
Yeah.
It's roughly 30 players who are on 1 year deal. Even if you bring the coaching staff back, there are roughly 30 players who are in the last year of their contracts and most likely won't be here next year.
Rico Dowdle's in the last year of his contract.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Brandon Cooks, I talked to Jordan Lewis today. He talked about free agency and, he wants to get paid. He's considered one of the best nickel corners in the league. There's a lot of push for him to make the Pro Bowl at nickel corner for the first time. I think he's having his best year. He said he thought he had his best year. He was in the midst of his best year the year he got hurt a couple years ago. But he's finally getting his acclaim, and people are recognizing the type of player he is. And, he got a new agent. He moved to David Cantor. That's DeMarcus Lawrence's agent. And he's he wants to come back, but he also he knows this is the last chance to get a decent contract. Finally get a decent contract, and he wants to get a good contract.
Yeah, did you know that one thing he was talking about too? He had good perspective. He's like, hey, I've been in free agency before, and when you're wanted, it's great. When you're not wanted, it can be a little bit of a wake-up call for him. I think that he's going to be wanted for this.
He should be wanted.
And he should be wanted.
Yeah, that price tag is dependent on him getting that Pro Bowl honor.
I don't think so. I don't think it should be, because just watch him play. Just turn on the tape.
Right.
And turn on the tape. And I listen, from this day one of training camp, there's no one who's been better or more consistent, who's been out there every day setting the tone, fighting. He was acting a fool in training camp, feisty. And he said that's all he's ever known. He's always been a small kid, undersized kid. People thinking these two didn't belong. And from Little League football alone, he's always been that guy who was in your face, fighting, trying to prove people that he belonged. We talked about him and the kid from Detroit, the receiver from Detroit, Amon St. Brown. He's been yeah. But that's who he is. He's a feisty guy.
Yep.
And I'm glad he's finally getting his credit. And listen, I hope he returns, because he's one of the best guys in the locker room. Guy who stands up, who's there every day, every week, win, lose. He's there talking and being honest about the team, honest about the situation. So again, if he gets paid, it's great. If he comes back, even better for us.
Kevontae Turpin is up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's restricted.
He's restricted.
He's restricted.
Is Hoffman restricted?
Yes.
Hoffman's restricted. He's restricted. Yeah.
So Wanye Thomas, Kevontae Turpin, Marquise Bell, and Brock Hoffman. Those are your restricted guys going into the offseason.
Yeah, and
Interesting restricted guys.
The question though is, do you put them a first round tender, second round tender, whatever? How you restrict them? That depends on how much money they'll get. I don't know if any of those guys, if you need to put a first round tender on any of those guys, because I don't think anybody's gonna give up a first round pick to sign them, but whether the second round or whatever else, I don't know. But then that's the question.
This was interesting from Bobby Belt, who was using Jason from Over the Cap's projections for restricted tenders. Currently projecting a first-round tender at $7.29 million and $5.217 for a second, and then $3.185 for the first refusal. So with those kind of guys, you kind of wonder where they would end up landing in those kind of tender spots. Turpin's interesting.
Turpin is interesting. I don't think any of them get tendered, though, necessarily.
Turpin's that's the one I think is interesting. But
yeah.
You don't want to lose Turpin.
Yeah.
Because of the weapon he is, special teams, and he's actually giving you some at receiver. You can build on that. You don't want to lose Turpin.
Yeah. And Jerry, in terms of investing in a guy like this.
That's just it. Cowboys say they're not going to spend, but they got to fill out the roster. Again, there are 30 guys who are first round, who don't have contracts next year. So they have to replenish the roster. And that doesn't even mean going out and getting players who are difference makers. They have to replenish the roster, number one, because they're losing a lot of guys. And we haven't even brought up Osa de Odigizua and guys like that who.
Joe brought him up.
Okay, Osa.
Thanks for listening.
I'm sorry. I got caught up in the Chauncey, because the Chauncey thing is funny. The idea that Chauncey didn't know you had to go to college to get to the NFL is crazy.
He lives in the moment, man. He lives in the moment.
Stop it.
There's a player for the Jets who didn't play college football.
Well, yeah, but
I'm just playing.
Right, but he was in college. Okay, he's in
No.
college playing college football.
Did Jordan Mailata?
you're
No,
talking about Chauncey.
I'm
Okay,
talking about Chauncey was in college playing college football. He's seen guys as a freshman get drafted.
Back. You've heard it. You see there's pictures of them all around the
Yes,
building.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, he said once he got to
insane.
Iowa, he knew. Once he got to Iowa, he knew. But he's
no.
in high school. He's like, I don't know how you get there. He lives in the moment.
At Texas State, they got a wall of NFL guys.
Walking
around Texas State recently. You can't not know.
Southern Oregon University's got them.
I mean, I just don't get that comment.
It was funny.
Yeah, it's funny, but anyway, so yeah, it's one thing to say I'm going to bring back guys and re-sign guys, but some of these guys are going to cost money. If you want to keep them. And the problem last year, you lost a lot of depth guys because they got decent contracts. Guys that went to Washington, they got decent contracts. Well, Osa ain't gonna come back for the minimum, okay?
Right.
No.
And here's the guy you need. You should want to bring him back. Jordan Lewis. I'm sorry, you can say what you want about Seatbelt and everybody else. I want Jordan Lewis to be a part of my.
So let's go.
I want Jordan Lewis to be on my
you're right.
at corner.
Let's go around.
Especially we don't know what's going on with Diggs. You might not even have Diggs next year.
Yep.
So let's go around the room here.
Yeah.
we all are in agreement that Osa and Jordan Lewis are two guys lined up to get paid.
Yeah.
If you're Jerry and you can only pay one of the two, who do you pay?
Osa Odighizuwa.
Osa, but I think even the price tag's gonna be too much.
Clarence?
I mean, it's definitely Osa because of he's overall, because of the position he plays. But I don't know that, and listen, I love Jordan. I don't know if he's going to get big money. He's going to get better money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what's big money? You know what I'm saying? Like, the kids that went to Washington didn't get big money. They're not going to get no life-changing, no Dak Prescott, no CeeDee Lamb, no major contract.
They're not about to reset the market.
Yeah, they're not resetting the market. They're going to get good money for them from where they came from. And so, I think that's the same thing with Jordan. He's a nickel corner. Nickel corners don't get they don't get that outside corner money anyway. He just wants to get he just wants to get better than the minimum of what he's been getting and what he had to play on. So what numbers? Just like Rico. You look at Rico. Rico's playing well, but what's his market? Nobody's going to give Rico a $8 million. He's not going to get a Tony Pollard contract. I don't care what he does.
I mean, if he rattles off 2 100-yard games, you could make the case that he doesn't have a lot of mileage.
You can make out that case, but
it's not a consistency.
I'm just looking at
it's only 1 year though.
One touchdown.
Yeah.
I just don't see him getting $8 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
I think in terms of defensive linemen, I think Zach Allen is a good case study for Osa Odighizuwa. Is a guy that hey, similar pressure numbers, a little bit different position, but Zach Allen's getting $16 million a year. Are you paying $16 million a year to Osa Odighizuwa? Can you afford that?
No.
Yeah. So that's why I think the reality of Osa is he's gone.
Where'd the guy from Detroit get, the defensive tackle?
What, McNeil?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
I got it.
You got it?
Is he better than Osa?
Yeah, I would say so.
I think different.
He's better in the run game. He's also bigger. Osa Odighizuwa at the end of the day is an undersized 3-tech at 280 pounds, which is crazy to say, but that's the reality.
And that right there in itself will change some of the market. Because you're going to have some people who are like, no, I want big people here, so Osa won't fit it. So that'll be an interesting thing. But you only need one. You only need one team that believes it. But yes, he will. There will be scheme fit issues for certain teams.
What did McNeil get paid?
4 years, $97 million.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah, see, Osa gets that kind of money, he's gone.
Absolutely.
And also, I do think interior pass rush ability does play well on the market.
But would you pay? I mean, you say you wouldn't pay him 16. Would you pay Osa 10?
I don't think he's going to take 10.
I don't know. I don't know what the market's going to be.
Would you take 10 from the Cowboys cap perspective?
For if I'm the Cowboys or my Osa?
You're the Cowboys.
Yeah, 100%. 10 mil per year.
Well.
I think even 12. But I think now you're getting into a hairy situation, though, the more you exceed from that. And I don't think Osa's going to take less than that.
The thing I think about is depth as well. Who plays 3-tech if Osa Odighizuwa was
right? You don't know. You don't have a 3-tech.
Well, the whole defensive line right now. If you take out Osa, you take out Chauncey. You take out Linval, who's a free agent. You take out Carlos Watkins. Who's your defensive line?
Yeah.
Carl Lawson as well.
And sometimes we overrate guys because we're close. We don't really know what the market thinks of Osa.
But I think history would tell us, and the current salaries would tell us he's going to do well in the market.
Yeah, what did my boy get with Washington, the defensive end?
Dorrance?
Yeah.
That's a good
10 mil?
Huh?
Was that 10?
I think he got 10 mil a year. Oh, here, I got it. 2 seconds. 11 mil.
Right. Maybe that's the market for Osa.
11.
Yeah.
Here's another question, and we talked a little bit about this on the Players Lounge yesterday. We're talking about some of these moves. Who's the coaching staff?
That's a great point, too.
Well, again, this is my thing. If you move on from this coaching staff, who you going to get? And who's going to because the goal is not just to get to the playoffs. The goal is to get to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Who's going to come in and take this team to the Super Bowl if you don't change what you're doing in free agency?
Lincoln Riley.
Oh, Kellen.
Say you called him the baddest. See what I'm saying? You started this, right? Greatest bad. That's what I'm saying. He gonna break. You see what I'm saying?
Did you not laugh?
You see what I'm saying?
Did you not laugh?
See what I'm saying?
I laughed.
See, Newy, you started this. That's the greatest over there. See?
We're going to take a break. With Nick Harris.
No, the greatest. It's greatest.
The greatest.
It's greatest.
The best.
Star Telegram ever had. Right there.
Take a break. Medium mash.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
This is Nate Newton from Hanging with the Boys, and Wingstop is here to bring the flavor to game day as the official wings of the Dallas Cowboys. Order now by downloading the Wingstop app or ordering online at wingstop.com.
Hey, Cowboys fans, a 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. They sure make game day special, and for every purchase of the new Tyson Cowboys Nuggets this holiday season, Tyson Foods will donate $1 to the Salvation Army up to $100,000. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together, and we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash, right here on DallasCowboys.com. Clarence Hill, most trusted, All City Dallas, in the house.
The greatest.
Joe Hoyt's teammate, All City Dallas. My man, Nick Harris, Star Telegram.
The greatest.
The baddest. Taking out all rookies. Forget Oreos, eat Cool J cookies, Nick's bad. I am Newy Scruggs. Do you even know what that is? Do you know what that's from? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I didn't hear what you said, to be 100% honest.
Okay.
I laughed and I didn't know, to be honest.
I just didn't hear you. I love you, Newy, but I just didn't hear you.
I laughed out of love and respect.
You're young. What year were you born?
2000.
Oh, that was a bad. Yeah, no. Yeah, I can't believe.
You didn't know he was
I
born?
can't believe you went there.
Tell him when your mom was born.
Oh no! Don't do it.
Tell him.
Don't do it.
73.
Oh no.
Okay. What year were you born, Joe?
93.
Okay.
His mom graduated high school in 2001?
91.
91, excuse me.
Have you two ever heard of a rapper named LL Cool J?
No, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen SWAT.
I'm going down. I'm going down the
I know a little something about the 80s.
I'm going a little.
He's that actor, right? Yeah, I've heard of him.
So, his second album, his song. You've seen The Last Dance, I presume, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Remember the Jordan game against Boston when he tells Danny Ainge as they leave the golf course, "I got something for your boy DJ tomorrow."
Yeah.
And he lights up the Celtics for 63. The song that they used in Last Dance was LL Cool J's "I'm Bad." That's what I was referencing.
Appreciate
Talking about
that.
bad. Yes, yeah. LL Cool J, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. Okay,
Yep. Fantastic actor.
The song was like in 85, 86. Neither of you were alive. My bad for not bringing this. I'm broadcasting to Earl Campbell's former classmate.
The Rose himself.
I will give it to my mother because she put me on 1980s music, but she more so put me on Eric B. and Rakim. It was not LL Cool J.
It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. In Cincinnati, so Cincinnati game. There's a young lady from Cincinnati having dinner with a dude from Cincinnati, and Clarence was over there talking up Texas, and the guy says, "Oh, you were there in Texas. Was that the Yellow Rose years? The Tyler Rose years?
The Yellow Rose.
So basically, there's the Yellow Rose. Clarence knows about that too in Austin. But
the most trusted, the Yellow Rose.
Trusted,
they have a red rose these days.
You're telling off on yourself.
Hey,
first of all,
that was hilarious.
No, you didn't meet me in Austin. No red rose, yellow rose. I didn't need to go no red rose, yellow rose when I was in Austin.
Yeah, so he's basically asking.
You better ask somebody.
Clarence Hill, a classmate of Earl Campbell at Texas, and
we're not doing this.
Clarence did not go to Texas in the late 70s with Earl Campbell. He went in the 80s. But yes.
With Eric Metcalf.
Eric Metcalf was a classmate of yours? Okay.
Yeah.
Who else was there? Those Clarence Hill era.
It's okay.
Did you work for the paper then? Did you work for the paper?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm asking. Okay, so who all did you cover besides Metcalf? Who's the quarterback? Gardere? Pete Gardere?
No, it was after me.
Who?
Yeah, that's right. Pete Gardere was 88. 88, 86.
Sir,
who's your guy?
I can't even remember the quarterback. We had some bad quarterbacks back then.
Okay.
It's okay.
So, I'm sorry, Nick. Sorry. I'll try to mention rappers you know. Where do you start,
sir?
Where do you start?
Sir,
like,
where is the line?
Sir, Nick is here, man. Nick is down,
no,
man.
I'm just trying to see where do you start? Like, where do you start at? So I have a reference. I mean, Jay-Z.
The start is murky because I do know 80s stuff and Eric B. and Rakim, but you threw LL Cool J out. I wasn't really listening to LL Cool J.
Yeah, see, I lump Eric B. and LL and EPMD, all that right there. Curtis, I lump all that together. So that's pre-you. That's pre-you, and that's okay. So I'm trying to figure, where did you pick it up at? Where?
Oh, like when I was alive?
Yeah. When you
it was Lil Wayne. It was Lil Wayne. That was the first thing thrown into my ears. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
5-year-old.
What about you?
Did you see Travis Hunter did not know who Lil Wayne was until like his fiance?
I can see that. That
man. Was wild.
These kids. So where do you start?
Yeah, Lil Wayne.
Where do you start, Joe?
Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not.
You're not participating.
I'm not touching the Travis Hunter and his girlfriend.
Fiance.
Yes.
I'm not touching that.
Except you just did.
He used to drive her to parties, and she go party, sit in the car.
That's brutal.
It's a good man.
Just leave it alone.
Okay. So Mike McCarthy.
Tampa Bay favored. Tampa Bay favored by 4 points in this football game here. The Cowboys have had issues at home.
Oh, yeah.
This is Sunday Night Football. The world is watching. What's your faith in Mike McCarthy and this crew being able to find a way to pull this game out?
That's a good question.
I don't like it personally. I look at this offense for Tampa Bay. This is a really good offense. You look at the schedule that they've played. You look at their record at 8-6. Mm-hmm. This is not an 8-6 team. In their first 10 games, they only played one opponent that is not currently in the playoff picture right now. Like if the season ended today, would be in the playoffs. They only played one team those first 10 weeks. They go into their bye week, reset a little bit, get a little bit healthier, and now they've rattled off 4 straight wins. This is a really good team. Mike Evans is getting healthy. Jalen McMillan is starting to figure out his role in the offense. Bucky Irving is starting to figure out his role as a runner in that offense. He's really talented, some of the best field vision in the NFL. This is an offense that I think will score at will on Sunday night. So I don't have a ton of faith here.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I think we talk about the Cowboys are figuring things out. Yeah, we talk about the Cowboys figuring things out, and then it's like, oh wait, there's a team that's actually figuring out things against good teams like Tampa Bay is right now. So I mean, I don't have a lot of faith personally. I think that offense is gonna be too hard to handle. I like Baker Mayfield a lot. Do you like Baker Mayfield?
No, I don't like him at all.
I think he's a good quarterback.
We know why you don't like him.
Yeah, that's why.
Guns up.
Sooner.
Start at Tech. Like Travis. Anyways, I think Baker's good. I think they have a chance to light up this defense. But Cowboys didn't get after the quarterback like they kind of did against Carolina. Big if.
Correct me if I'm wrong. How many people thought the Cowboys would hold down the Bengals?
What?
No, that's fair.
How many people thought the Cowboys defense would hold down the Bengals offense?
I had no faith.
I didn't think so at all.
And at that time, I don't know that there's an offense still hotter in the league than the Bengals. Because they come off the Cowboys game, they put up 30 again this week, right? You know, and I know we know how well Tampa Bay is playing. I don't know they're playing better on offense than the Bengals.
They just played the second best defense in the NFL and put up 40.
Yeah, I know.
That's tough.
I know.
That's tough.
I know. Second best statistically, yes.
I was thinking the Bengals were more Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I think Tampa Bay has got a lot more options.
For a team that lost Chris Godwin and had other massive injuries, I do believe this is one of the most underrated, if not the most underrated coaching job in football this year. Most people have picked Atlanta to win this division, and Todd Bowles, every year we talk about people on the hot seat. Vegas put the odds out. Todd Bowles has done an outstanding job here, and that's a really good stat that you put up here about the teams that they have played this year. This is not an 8-6 football team, which I think last year one of the underrated jobs, and we found out at the end how good it was Matt LaFleur with the Packers and where they ended up. At the end of the year, even though they lost to San Francisco, they gave them everything they wanted.
Should have won it.
Yeah. Tampa Bay is a kind of team that I wonder about, depending on the matchups they get, what could they do in the playoffs? I think Todd's an outstanding football coach. And Baker Mayfield's playing really good football. And, you talk about the offense here. They lost last year's offensive coordinator, the head coach at Carolina, and they're still getting it done. There's just not enough said about the job that Todd, former Cowboy assistant coach, has done.
Yeah, and now they're talking about this offensive coordinator getting head coaching consideration as well because of what he's done. And I was just trying to look at what their numbers are defensively. And they're the 30th ranked pass defense.
Rush defense a lot better.
Rush defense 111, but they're 30th ranked pass defense. And I don't know if passing the ball is how you want to make a living. With Cooper had a good game last week, but you want to be able to be balanced and want to be able to run the ball and then give him options to throw. But it looked like, CeeDee Lamb should be able to make some plays against this pass defense.
Well, this is a good test for that run offense, too, for the Cowboys, too, because, if you look at who they've had success against, they've been on fire recently, right? Well, Bengals run defense ain't that good. Giants' run defense ain't that good. We all know Carolina's run defense is not good. Now you have a kind of middle-of-the-pack run defense, I'm assuming. So, it's kind of a good test to see if, hey, can you actually stick with that philosophy of running the ball to open up the pass?
I believe the 30th, actually.
Tampa Bay is? All right, never mind.
Well, and so I put the Bengals game 2 weeks ago as a test. I said, if this momentum the Cowboys building the good, beat the Bengals. And as the Cowboys get ready to continue and talk about building momentum, winning through the last four. What?
My bad. They're 30th in pass defense. It's 11th in rush
defense.
Yeah, I was going to say. Sorry, that threw me off.
Yeah. So, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, so if they've won through the last four, okay, and everybody's feeling good and talking about, well, this is another test.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if they lose this game, they most likely lose the next week in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Okay, and so all that momentum.
I think if they win this game, they still win.
No doubt.
Yeah.
But if you want to continue to really build something, you want to make what you're doing and success legitimate, because I think Jerry was accurate on the radio, and he said, we feel good about what we're doing, but who we playing? Who we beat? Who we beat? You talking about early in the season, they lost to Baltimore, and they lost to the Detroit. Yes, the only team they've beaten that has a winning record is Washington. And I'm talking about in this last momentum push. I'm talking about this momentum push that we're talking about. So if you really want to legitimize what they're doing and how they're better, be one of these good teams.
And that becomes a challenge now that Diggs is out for the year. So you're losing a good corner. You've lost Overshown, a good linebacker. And yes, it allows you to beat Carolina. But I just don't think it's going to allow you to beat a Tampa Bay team that said I wouldn't be shocked if this team ends up with 10 wins.
Tampa Bay?
And wins this division.
Well, they should. The division's bad.
Right. So then you've got Tampa Bay, then you get Philadelphia, you got Washington. I just think these are three really tough football games here. And then of course we talk about matchups. How do you match up with them? You brought it right there. This is not a good matchup for them. And with all the injuries and things that they have, I'm not trying to say it's an excuse, but you're just not going to be surprised.
Right. And that's all I'm saying is that if you lose this game, you could lose out. Everybody's talking about winning out. You lose this game, and it's at home, and then you go to Philadelphia, and then you got that game against Washington afterward. You could conceivably lose out, and all this talk about bringing McCarthy back is going to be gone out the window if you lose out. Nobody's going to be talking about how well you played with all your guys out. They're going to talk about you
6-11.
You lost out. You lost out, and you're 6-11. And so that's why, to me, this game is talk about the importance of the Cincinnati game. This game is important for how you finish.
Is this the most winnable one they have left? I know they already beat Washington.
I would say Washington.
But Washington.
Still.
Washington, conceivably, because you beat them already. But again, you're talking about if you really have nothing to play for, and they're playing for the playoffs. I don't know.
But so here's a spin on that. What if they don't have anything to play for at the end? If they're already locked into where they're at, that's where I could see a possible. You could possibly beat them, because if DQ and company are like, hey, we're locked in.
First of all, DQ and them ain't gonna try to come and lose twice to the Cowboys. They want to go in the playoffs with some momentum.
But also,
the Washington ain't trying to get swept by the Cowboys. They're gonna have momentum to play for.
Clarence, if he's locked in, Philly's already won the division, and you're locked into where you're at. Why are they going to go out here and necessarily play their guys just to say we beat Dallas? It's Dallas week.
I think that they're going to be in a tough spot, though, to even clinch it right now. I mean, if you kind of look at the teams building up in that wild card race, I think it might be a race down to Week 18.
Yeah. The wild card race probably will be down. And again, nothing good comes comes from losing. You got to play the next week. You want to feel good about yourself going into the playoffs, winning games. I can't see them punting that last game.
You saying their owner won't come down during the middle of the game and go and tell the coaching staff to pull out some players?
I don't see their owner doing that. That owner that would do that is no longer there.
Yeah. It's a good point.
He was never in a position to do it. So
imagine Magic Johnson just coming down from the owner's box being like, hey,
I ain't going to be there.
I ain't going to be there.
I ain't going to be there. No, I mean, we're way ahead of ourselves. But I just don't, it's still personal with Quinn and them, though. I mean, they want to win this game. Joe Whitney, they ain't trying to lose twice to the Cowboys.
Okay.
Them players that former Cowboys that are there, they ain't trying to lose. They want to win.
They're going to play. If they're going to the playoffs, what's the most important thing? Get the playoffs healthy. Well, you know what? I'll have to let play out. That's been the beauty of this season, is letting it all play out. Kirk Cousins has finessed someone else. Let's dive into this. Overpaying guys here. Jerry's talking about, and Steven, hey man, the money will be tight next year, but you make bad mistakes like Kirk Cousins, it can hurt you. We'll do it next right here on the Media Masters, DallasCowboys.com.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle?
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole made with real Hass avocados will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouthwatering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Hey, Cowboys fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. They sure make game day special, and for every purchase of the new Tyson Cowboys Nuggets this holiday season, Tyson Foods will donate $1 to the Salvation Army up to $100,000. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash, right here, DallasCowboys.com with the baddest, most trusted, and the Oregon Duck.
Oh, I'll take it. Better than the other guy. I got the other guy on our show the other day.
Number one, Oregon Ducks head into the college football playoff, ready to win that whole thing. I feel who you guys? Oh, you're on a bye.
We're on a bye.
Yeah, baby.
I already got my Cotton Bowl tickets though.
Yeah. Okay.
I had to. It's only going to go up if it's Oregon, Texas in the semifinals.
Dabo's going to have something to say about that, man.
What you got to say about Dabo having something to say?
These are the games that Dabo somehow magically went. I picked Texas again.
Mm-hmm.
Let me down last time.
Dabo Luther King.
They let me down last time. I had him winning the SEC championship. They don't know what you're talking about, Clint. So you're trying to put Dabo down a different way because they don't know. They don't know what you're talking about.
They don't know about Dabo. You know about Dabo Luther King.
They don't know. They don't. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. They know about LL. They don't know about Dabo. Your inside Dabo jokes. DeMarcus Lawrence. Does he? I mean, he's not playing this week.
No, it's done.
There's
no reason to come back now.
That was my other question. Do you come back for 2 games because you need something on tape, or do you just say, man, I'm done? And have we seen the last of him here?
I think it'd be a different scenario if this was a 8-6 team rather than a 6-8 team.
Okay.
Maybe have something a little bit more to play for, like a playoff hunt, or to get ready for the playoffs. But this is just not that reality for DeMarcus Lawrence. This is a very complex injury that he dealt with on the top of his foot. It's not as severe as what Jordan Lewis dealt with a couple of years ago to his Liz Frank, but it's tough to recover from, and it's nagging, and it's a situation where you don't really know you're back until you're back. So.
I also think at that point too, when you come back for 2 games, if it's such a complex injury and maybe things are not healed all the way right, and you go out there and you put bad film on tape, now you're 33 years old going into free agency with bad film being the last thing that people have on you. So I think you might as well just let your production speak for itself, fully heal, and head off into the sunset.
And he's not heading off into the sunset.
The sunset of free agency.
Okay, but speaking of business Hall of Famers, and DeMarcus Lawrence is savvy as any of them. He's not coming back and putting himself at harm's way because there's nothing to play for.
Have we seen the last of him in the Dallas Cowboy uniform?
I don't know, because if Chauncey's gone in free agency, you still need numbers at the end. Again, it depends on how much you paying him. He's not going to take a minimum deal, but what's the market going to say? He's a guy, when he's healthy, he's still one of the top run stoppers in the league. How much? And, you can talk about his age, but you can also say, well, if you're going to pay him, then why don't you give Chauncey the money you're going to give him?
Could you get Chauncey and Carl Lawson for the same price as you would get for DeMarcus Lawrence?
I don't know.
If that answer is yes, then you probably get those 2 guys. I think there was a reason they took Marshawn Nealon in the 2nd round last year. It wasn't just about.
Well, you got Nealon and you got Sam coming back and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So you got numbers. I'm just saying that with Chauncey, I think, again, it's what you do with Chauncey and what happened with that. I mean, if you're not going to have Chauncey, you still need numbers at the position.
I feel like we've seen the end. I feel like this is it.
Yeah, and I think
feels like it.
Yeah, I feel that way. Cause he may want to go to Washington. He may want to go to a contender.
It also feels like, because the market for him is an unknown. I don't know what a 33-year-old coming off a Liz Frank injury is going to do on the market. I mean, obviously, to your point, it's still one of the best run defenders in the NFL when healthy. Does a contender say, yeah, I will overpay for 1 year of DeMarcus Lawrence to come in and help with our run defense potentially? But if he doesn't, I mean, how do the Cowboys look at him? I don't know. It's an unknown, frankly.
I remember when the Cowboys cut DeMarcus Ware because of injury, thinking that he wasn't worth the money because he was injured, and he got surgery, got healthy. Denver gave him a decent contract, and he had a couple of good years. And I don't think he's as old as D. Ware was at that time. You can look that up.
Yeah.
But he still got fire in his belly. He can still play.
And
the sad thing about it is this was really his first off season when he didn't have an injury to recover from. And so he came out last season, came into this season feeling good about himself.
Ware was 2 years younger.
Yeah.
Younger. Yeah.
I think I look at him at this point in time. You're dealing with the injuries, and you've drafted. You've got younger people. Go let these guys play, and try to get some. Try to find a cheaper type of production, which is basically what they're telling us they're going to go do anyway. So I don't expect Zach Martin back. I don't expect Tank Lawrence back. I think these are that we've seen them play their final games as Cowboys.
Right, and you have to look at the future too, because next year will be Sam's last year of his contract too, won't it?
Yep.
So he gets 1 year, and if he has a good year, he's gone too. And so you may need to. I know you got Nealon, but you need more than Nealon. You might need to double down with Chauncey. If Chauncey's playing as well as everybody thinks he is, and we think he is, and again, it's what the market says, and I don't know what his market's going to look like.
I'm just glad they figured out he's a damn edge. He is not a defensive tackle.
Correct.
I'm just glad we came to that conclusion this year. It took a long time, but we got here.
Yeah, no, you're correct. There's so many different questions that they have here, but we've seen how this game goes when you play on that defensive line for 10 years. I mean, your body only has so many hits in it.
Yeah.
And that's what I think about with DeMarcus Lawrence. It's like, hey, you look at the guy, man, you had a heck of a – and knowing and going back to when he was drafted, hey, we're moving on from DeMarcus where we see a guy here, we're going to move up forward in the second round, we're going to get this guy, and from what they wanted him to be, I thought he had a productive 10-year career.
I agree.
100%.
That was a successful draft pick, but after 10 years on the D line, you got to move on. And yes, I think he says he wants to play, and he should go look for a contender. But I just think that it's you got to let it go. You got to go get younger. You got to try and rebuild this football team.
I could see a contender overpaying for him, too, because if you kind of look at the way the NFL is going, the running back position has never been in terms of lower in value from a collective standpoint. But look at some of the elite teams. They've got really good running games. And when it comes to January and February, you're going to have to run the football and you're going to have to stop the run. And I think that his ability from a mental standpoint to read and to be able to knife in and make plays in run defense is something that plays really well with contending teams specifically.
And when again, when is he going to be healthy? Will he be healthy and ready to go, pass the physical, do all this stuff by March? Depending on where we are in this rehab process. So,
is it your opinion that Jerry has held on to guys too long?
I mean, historically speaking, I think that answer is yes. I think there might be a desire these days to try to rectify that. I think that's why they let go of Tyron Smith at the right time, which has proven to be right. I think we could be trending towards a similar situation for a guy like DeMarcus Lawrence or Zach Martin. But I think this offseason will tell us a lot about where they stand on how much they've been burned in the past by maybe letting guys stick around a little bit longer than they should. And this is going to be the offseason that kind of tells if they have a shift in thinking there. Because if they bring those two guys back, then they are risking the fact that they could be hurt week 1 and not play the rest of the year, and you'll be paying them quite a bit of money to do that.
And not playing at training camp.
Yeah.
And the other thing you got to rethink is extending guys early, too. Yeah, I mean, you can get guys cheaper usually from your in-house that you're extending that probably shouldn't be extended, and then there's a reason, though. Turns out you probably shouldn't have extended some of these.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because there's this talk now with, I know we've been here to go, but with Micah Parsons and his contract has come up. Micah Parsons gave the Cowboys an out recently. There's no difference between 30 and 40 million.
His agent was like,
if I'm Jerry, if the Cowboys are smart, put a $30 million contract on the table right now and say sign it.
Yeah, 100%.
Call his bluff right now.
Why not?
Put $30 million, get ahead of it. Let's get this deal done. Let's get that cap number down, and let's not carry this thing through the offseason. Since there's no difference between 30 and 40 million, and you don't need to be the highest paid player, put 30 on the table right now.
We need headlines, though, Clarence.
Let's sign that contract.
We need tension.
Let's not carry this into the offseason. Let's get it done right now. Micah said he don't need to be the highest paid player. He said there's no difference between 30 and 40 million. He wants to be a contender. He wants to retire his number in Dallas. He wants to win. Let's do it right now.
And Michael will say, go talk to my guy.
And what's his guy going to say?
His guy's going to say, hell no.
His guy's going to say, we need to wait till after the season.
Let's get this done. Michael, you brought it up. Let's go.
But now you're asking him to do something we haven't seen him do. When's the last time we see Jerry go act real quick with a star player like this?
Right. What they should have done with CD, and we knew what the market was. We knew the market was Dak. Don't wait till August. And that's all I'm saying is that let's not make this protracted negotiation all the way through August and trade. He don't show up for minicamp anyway. Okay. Yeah. So you're gonna pay him. You say you're gonna pay him. Let's get it done. This don't need to be wait. Don't wait until August and September. And make sure when you pay him, you put in this. Listen, we're finna give you this money. We're gonna make you the highest paid player. I need you here for off season. I need you here for the OTAs.
Well, and if there's a new,
because I'm going to make you the highest paid player,
and if there's
I need you to be for OTAs.
If there's a different coaching staff, then that's going to be something that needs to happen as well. So we'll see. Tell everybody where you can find your work, sir.
All City Dallas, DLS.
All City Dallas.
Yeah, 4-star Telegram. Read the paper.
Catch me on Channel 5, right here in town. Newy Scruggs. Clarence Hill, thank you. Joe Hoyt, thank you. Nick Harris, thank you. Chris Bean back there, everybody Jazz who makes this happen. We appreciate you watching DallasCowboys.com.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!